Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's show of Pastor EFT Fireside Chats. And today we have a special program because we're celebrating Thanksgiving next week. And, well, by the time that we show this, it will already be next week. And so we want to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving, about giving thanks and showing gratitude.
I believe that Thanksgiving is important to display every day of the year.
Well, an interesting thought is the Jewish people actually asked the rabbis in America whether they could celebrate Thanksgiving. And the rabbi said, it's not a religious holiday. It's a holiday of giving gratitude. And since you should be giving gratitude every single day, there's no reason why you can't celebrate this day either. It's just another day of giving gratitude.
Right. I agree.
Now, of course, I'm vegetarian, so I eat pizza and not turkey. But
Thanksgiving, giving thanks is an important part of your life. It can actually create happiness. If you think about it, and people make gratitude lists, but this creates such a sense of happiness just by being grateful. Just by being grateful.
One of the things I spoke about when you interviewed me is that I think I spoke about it. If I didn't, I'm speaking about it right now. I write in my gratitude notebook every night. And when I'm writing in my gratitude notebook, what I believe happens is things just keep growing. Because the more gratitude I show, the more it comes into my life. And what I've started doing is even when I'm driving in the car, or walking to pick up my son from school, or walking to the supermarket, or anything that I'm doing that I'm on my own, I just sit in my head and I'm giving gratitude to God for all the wonderful things that He's done for me.
Yeah. I can't think of actually had that thought. I'll write a little note to someone, or I'll do something special for someone, and as a way of saying thanks. But it's different when you start really practicing gratitude. You live in it and you walk in it. So, for instance, if you have a problem, if you're celebrating gratitude every day of the year, and I do believe we are supposed to, and I know a lot of people that do that. Mm-hmm. It becomes second nature to have something go wrong in your life and be thankful anyway, because this is either going to give you a lesson and you'll learn from it. Even when I found myself having made a mistake this week, and it bothered me to the point of harboring maybe resentment for myself. Not being able to forgive yourself.
Right.
But with forgiveness comes the peace,
Yeah.
And you forgive everyone, including yourself. And sometimes it's harder for you to forgive your own self for something that you have done.
Definitely.
And so I was struggling with that a bit. And I just thought, and somebody pointed out to me my error. Mm-hmm. And rather than become any kind of resentful or even angry. I wasn't angry with myself, but I did feel like, hey, dummy, do it right. You shouldn't have done that.
Right.
But the thing is when you walk in gratitude, you're thankful that person said something about it, and you have that opportunity to heal.
Exactly.
And I really believe, Robert's tapping on me back then, and everything that led up to this point, as we slowly forgive ourselves, because you have a mountain of proof when you're ill as to why, and I'm not a good person, and I'm not this. But when you walk in gratitude, I think you're able to let go of things much easier and transform them into something that's going to benefit you. We all make mistakes.
Yes.
Some are worse than others.
Let's rephrase that. We don't necessarily all make mistakes. We all have learning experiences. Okay?
Yes.
Because there's no real mistake. If you learn from your mistake, it's no longer a mistake.
I understand. I was going that way with it, but
Right.
But this morning I found it difficult to think of it as a learning experience. It was a rather big mistake that I've made.
Right.
And then I thought, well, what kind of courage does it take to be able to say that about yourself?
Yeah,
I'm
that's true.
wrong. I've been very wrong, and I am so sorry. And to those that you have either offended or hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's this, I didn't think I was doing anything that wrong or that, or that I had done something that was, now I can see very clearly because I don't have any resentments, angers,
Right.
guilt's not there. And we are a society in the United States that we are conditioned to feel guilt.
Yeah.
And I would like to, I suppose not everybody has gone through this, but have you ever known anyone who tells you something and it should be, and they expect for you to feel a certain way about it. Mm-hmm. Usually it's sad, angry, whatever. And you come
Right.
back and you come back with the answer, well, that's really unfortunate, but it doesn't affect you. It doesn't have a charge
Right.
to it. Then this person who said it to you, they're offended because you don't feel guilty or you don't feel upset about what they're talking about.
Right. Right.
And it's not that you don't feel guilty or upset. As you tap, you begin to know that, this isn't my burden to take. And why would I want to stress about something I can't do
Right.
anything about?
Right. Exactly. And there's no purpose
So,
for that. Definitely no
right.
purpose for that. But I've
And
come recently to come to understanding. I mean, I even thank God I went through a hard divorce. I mean, I guess not as hard as some people have, but for me it was hard and things happened before the divorce as well. And I realize now that they all came into my life to teach me things about myself, which I would have never learned otherwise.
yeah, totally.
That's why the question that I ask my clients, what's the gift, is a really important question.
Yeah,
Because once you
it
look
is.
for the gift, you learn what you need to learn.
It's funny you say that. Another practitioner and myself, we have put little pictures. Did I show you this?
No?
Put little pictures on our intake forms, and one of them I drew was the gift. And we do it. We can't figure out where to put it. If it's before the actual integration, or is it right before the future pace?
Right.
So I think we should put it before the future pace. But
Well, the
anyway,
truth of the
or
matter
you could
is that
actually
the gift
go
can be
ahead.
what you got after you've already integrated the new memory, or it can be from what you got from before you integrated the new memory. Either
And
way is a gift.
you know what? It's a good thing because if you were to do it right after it's down to a zero, even flipped,
Yeah.
well, not even flipped, but like right in that area, it's good to do it then because then you can see their reaction whether or not they
Yeah.
can find the gift.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's
Right.
good. And what comes up if you can't find the gift? So that's very good. I like
Right.
that.
Right. Another interesting thing just reminded me. I just heard thunder outside. I don't know if you heard it on your side.
Mm-mm.
In Judaism, we have this idea of saying blessings over the different things that God gives us. And one of the things we say a blessing over is thunder and over lightning. Even though you wouldn't necessarily
Wow.
think that those are things that are good or things that help us or things that are, but we still say a blessing for it. We're thanking God for giving to us.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's thunder makes me sleep very well. That sound, it is so comforting to many people.
Well, I
Go
love
ahead.
it when I'm under my blankets in a cozy, warm
Yeah.
room. So, yes.
So we've had a little bit of the snow. We probably had a half an inch,
Wow.
but it was just overnight. But it was so awesome this year watching that first snow with my daughter and really feeling some good feelings for
Right.
absolutely no reason.
Reason
I'm
at all.
going,
Yeah.
why am I loving this so much?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just snow. Why do I feel this way about this right now? But why is a bad question, I guess. So I didn't need to
Yes.
know why.
Well, I was reading through Abraham Hicks, and it's interesting because he or she, whoever it is, has the idea of the book of positive aspects, which is actually very similar to the gratitude notebook. And
Interesting. Yeah.
what you're doing in this book of positive aspects is just writing all the good things about the situation that you can think of. So number one is drawing you away from the bad things, and it's putting in the light the good things, and it's helping you focus on the good things, which is what the gratitude notebook does also. And that's
This is such a great topic, the gift.
right.
It really is, because when you go back into rewrite, you could say some really amazing, really, noticing not just what is the gift.
You get to
You
give
could,
yourself gifts when you do the
yeah,
rewrite. You get to give
you could
yourself
do a
all
lot.
the gifts that you want to give. Everything you ever wanted, you give yourself in the gift
Yeah.
when you do the
So it's very,
rewrite. Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool.
and it's interesting how some people, those that don't know anything about Fast EFT, they'll say, you know, the gift, what are you talking about? This person made my life crazy. But you can go in and you can still create, help them with amazing changes along the way and healing opportunities there, right in that
Right.
moment, because some have been conditioned so much to be in and dwell in the negative,
Yeah.
they literally cannot see the positive of it, you know.
Right. Right.
Um,
And when you
I
start
think that,
tapping, then you allow them to see the positive. You allow them to see what
right.
the gift actually was. And there's always a gift. Always.
Yeah, I don't think I could think of one circumstance where it's not,
Yeah.
you know.
You might have to dig a
Because
little bit.
if they're sitting with me, no, just kidding.
Right.
There's
Well,
the gift.
you might have to dig a little bit deeper. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
But there's always the gift at
Yeah,
the end
I
of the road.
suppose. Well, depending on the situation, they would be different, of course. But you can
Right.
always find one.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
s- Somebody, I brought this up to someone just recently because of what you had told me, and they said, "Well, why would you do that? That's not part of our." And I thought that it was good, and that it is a part of our skills to just include that. What is the gift? And I've
Yeah.
heard of quite a few practitioners using that thing. It also creates a feeling of thanksgiving within,
Yes, it
you know,
gets people to start thinking about the positive aspects as opposed to the negative aspects.
right.
And when you start thinking of the positive aspects keep flowing. It says that it takes 17 seconds of thinking of a positive thing to bring another positive thing into your life. So, and
Interesting.
if you hold it again for another 7 seconds, another positive thing will come to your life. So it grows upon itself till it becomes one big, enormous positive thing.
Right.
Now, I don't remember exactly, but I think that the negative thing, it was a longer time, something like 2 or 3 minutes. I could be wrong about that, but I remember it was definitely a much longer time. My friend
Wow.
Kim Jewell told me about that, the negative part. I only heard about the positive thing.
Very cool.
So when I wake up in the morning, don't always manage, but I try to always think of a positive thing first thing in the morning.
I found myself, I agree with that. I wake up and think, but as my, day gets going, it's a little better. But today I had a bit of a struggle with that because it's like, okay, I'm thankful for this and I'm thankful for that, but that doesn't change the mistake that I made. And it does, and so it was hard to, how you can't be happy and upset at the same time.
Right, right.
It
But
was it was kind of like that.
even if it can't change the mistake that you made, it can help you rectify it. It can help you
And it
get
can
to the
also,
point. Yeah,
yeah, and the lesson is the gift,
right.
which it ended up being, like I was saying, and it was one that I needed to learn.
Yeah,
So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, what about certain people? Will they forgive me? And
right.
know what I didn't come to any resolution. I just know I deserve forgiveness with myself.
Yeah,
You know, the lesson was huge for me, and so now I will be more careful,
right.
in certain circumstances. But
It's also the other day I went to the post office and we get these little slips whenever we get a package and we have to go to the post office and pick it up. and the package hadn't yet arrived. It was supposed to arrive at 11, and they said, sorry, the mail didn't yet come in. It's not going to come home until afternoon, but we're closed in the afternoon. You have to come tomorrow. And he was ready for me to start yelling at him about how upset I was that I came all the way to the post office. And I looked at him and I saw his upset face, and I saw him getting ready, to brace himself. And I said,
To defend himself?
To defend himself. It's not his fault. He's not in control of the mail. And I saw that look of tension growing up in his face. And he's like this big guy, really tall, big guy, around twice my size approximately. And I just looked at him and I said, well, I guess that means that God just wanted me to say hello to you. So, hello, have a good day. And he just burst into this big smile. Like you could see his whole body just totally relaxing and saying, awesome. Have a great day also.
That's good. That's good.
But
because a lot of people react rather than respond.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was ready to react to your reaction. So
right.
It's always better to respond.
Yes, and it is better because now the post office, whenever they get a package for me, even if I don't come right away to pick it up, they put it aside for me. And when I come, they call me up and they said, here's your package, come get it. And it's not that I did it for that reason. I didn't in the least bit do it so that they'd give me that special attention. But it's a natural consequence of it. Because one good thing breeds another good thing, breeds another good thing, breeds another good feeling, breeds another good feeling. And that's why it's just important. And, if you think about it, it's not his fault. He's not the one who's in charge of bringing the mail.
And just to be thankful of that circumstance and that exchange, just to be thankful for that because it was such a good thing. He might have changed his whole day.
Exactly.
So that's awesome.
It didn't cost me anything besides to smile. That was all. So
being thankful. I'm thankful for my triggers today.
That's a good thing to be thankful for. Yeah.
It is. It really is. Because it provides an opportunity to tap. And a few things lately, I've really been in the nuts and bolts of it, so to speak, both with my journaling and seeing. It's hard to find my own threads for me. It just is.
Right.
But lately I've been able to see those a bit more and work on myself in a deeper, in a bit of a deeper way. For instance, I've used a new intake that I was trying out that was handed to us at level 2. And I really, really like it. It says on it, it's a great self, intake, but it really, really is. I think everybody should use it.
Cool.
Because it's very, it's Dave Ryder and Kim. I think they came up with it, but it's really great for a self intake, and I would recommend it to anybody because it really does. I mean, it's just 6 questions, but you start to see things and your patterns and the resolution makes it easier, especially when you feel it as much as you possibly can.
But when I get triggered these days, what I say is, isn't it nice to know what else I need to work on?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known otherwise.
And it's wonderful to be thankful and to see those as blessings.
Right.
Because you look around and all day you observe the nature of people and you observe people and you can see that they're just like, oh no, not again. They're waiting for that negative energy to come into their life, and they'll get it because they're waiting for it.
They're waiting for it, exactly, yes. Well, that was the other thing. I mean, that statement that I said, isn't it nice to know what else I need to work on? And also, the next 2 statements also come from Abraham Hicks, where I say, when I get triggered and I feel really bad inside, I say, isn't it nice to know when I need to go take a nap? Because when I take a nap, it sort of breaks it. And then I get up and I have a chance to start anew, something better.
Yeah.
Or isn't it nice to know when I need to go meditate? Because when I go meditate, then it releases it and lets me go into a better place. So, all those statements are statements of gratitude. And the gratitude puts me in a better place.
Always. I will use always in that scenario. I believe that once you practice gratitude on a daily basis, you really you let go of so much, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, definitely let go of so much.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the idea of the gift of, all these bad things that happened to us, they hold a gift for us.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this movie called Music from the Heart, which was an
Mm-hmm.
amazing movie based on a true story about a woman who was married to someone, I think, in the Marines, and she had two boys, and her husband left her, and she basically was left. She was a housewife. She had to figure out how she was going to make ends meet, how she was going to support herself and her two children.
Mm-hmm.
And he never sent her any money or anything, and she knew how to play violin. So she went to like this slummy school near where they were living, and she got a job over there as a music teacher, teaching them how to play, the children, how to play violin. And number one was the amazing difference she made in these children's lives, because these children had nothing. They came from the slums where people were being shot out every day, where their people in their family were being shot at. And they came to this place where they learned how to feel good about themselves, learned how to play violin, learned how to feel good. And music does amazing things too in general. And towards the end of the movie, she manages to get these kids to play in Carnegie Hall. They make this concert to raise
Wow.
money so they can continue with the program, because they're trying to close down the program. And
Mm-hmm.
as she's inside the taxi with her mother on the way to Carnegie Hall, she looks at her mother and she says, "You know something? I really have to thank my ex-husband for all this, because had he not left me, I would still be washing his dishes and washing his clothes and being a housewife in his house, for him.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he left me gave me the impetus and the courage to do what I'm doing now and
Mm-hmm.
bring me here to Carnegie Hall." And that was one of the lines that really helped me in my divorce as well. Because when I look at myself now where I am, I would have never got here in any other way.
That and it so reinforces all of this stuff we've been through, the gift that comes for it, and also it just reinforces the reason why it was even there to begin with.
I want to wish all of our viewers a happy Thanksgiving, a day full of Thanksgiving for all the gifts that we have in our life. And happy tapping.
Happy tapping.